Good evening for day 230 of the Fellowship, the last podcast of the week and probably the last podcast of the year, and just under a year of doing the Read and Read podcast, and busting straight into the last, if not one of the last themes and prompts and considerations that I want to give you is to think about the year in review. This is sort of hopelessly, stereotypically meme-like. At the end of this year, you'll probably see a lot of posts and articles talking about years in review rather than New Year's resolutions. And I'm certainly doing the former rather than the latter, but with a slight twist. So I've mentioned a number of times that my own interests are very much balanced between academia and entrepreneurship, not on one side of the fence or the other. I love academia, I love research, I like creating new knowledge, but I like trying to make money as well. I like entrepreneurship as a mode of impact beyond the traditional publications and the like within academia. And having walked on both sides of the fence, having been an academic and attempted with mixed success to be an entrepreneur, one of the things on the entrepreneurial side that I've become grateful of, aware of, glad that is on my radar is what CEOs will typically do in the form of a letter to shareholders, a review on company performance in the past year, I guess leading up to an annual general meeting for a company. And you always hear names like Warren Buffett as someone who wields the pen with as much might as the sword, someone who can really put a message clearly, concisely and powerfully over to shareholders and treat them with the respect that they deserve. And not to compare myself to someone like that, but rather to use the example of a letter to shareholders as an inspiration and a parallel to what I would want to do now in review of the year for myself, but also for our team in a position of leadership. And that's one of the last things I'll be doing probably on Monday, this being Friday afternoon. And that is that having started this fellowship by myself back in February 2021, I'm going to be reviewing in written form the year hence, what happened in lab setup, what happened in terms of recruiting a team, what have we been able to do together, and what can we do together going forward to 2022. And a year in review, that will be, a really practically useful, insightful, professional part of that. But the year in review for yourself will bring out surprises. There are things that you will have forgotten, things that have just been swept up in the wave of busyness that we all find ourselves in. And you'll go, oh yeah, I did do that. Oh, that feels like years ago. And I sound more and more like a little old lady at the hairdresser's when I say that, but I love those moments of surprise because it's those moments retrospectively that give the motivation for, proactive work going into the new year. So I'll be ending this year with a review for myself, a review for our team, and using those as motivators to keep us going headstrong as well as headlong into 2022. So keeping it short and sweet today, prompting you to consider how you might use the review of this year to give you the motivating surprises that will take you into next year. I hope you have a fantastic break. I hope you are able to relax and not just stress-lax, thinking about the first day back to work. Hope you have a wonderful time with your friends and your family, your loved ones. You stay safe and well. I thank you one more time for being here. As a final reminder, if you've got any questions, please do reach out on the podcast web pages and we'll feature your question in a forthcoming Q&A episode. But one last time, be safe, be well, be grateful for everything that you have. Be grateful to be able to sit and review the year, and hopefully you can take some excitement for the year to come. All the very best, and I'll see you soon for another episode of the Read Indeed podcast. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, head over to the website where not only will you find the written blog versions of these podcasts, you'll find my leadership blog series, the Daily Thought series, and information about my book on managing the imposter phenomenon. We also have even more free resources and webinars linked to the YouTube channel. So head on over to dr-mark-reid.com. That's dr-mark with a C -reid.com. Thanks again for listening.